Howdy, welcome to episode 2 of the Gaming Saloon. As you can see, I've upgraded my equipment since the last episode, so now I can speak directly on cam with you guys. By the way, if you've got any feedback, please leave it in the comments below. That'd be much appreciated. Alright, let's get on with it. The first news topic today is from Microsoft. They just announced the Games for Gold lineup for August. So if you're a Gold member, on the 1st of August will be coming Bayonetta. That's for Xbox 360 and Xbox One backwards compatible. Also for Xbox One owners will be Slime Rancher. And coming also on August the 16th will be for Red Faction Armageddon. Now that is for Xbox 360 and Xbox One backwards compatible. And for Xbox One owners will be Trials Fusion. Now I wanted to speak about these games real quick just to give you a brief description of what these games are about. So Bayonetta 1, I personally never played the Bayonetta series myself. I've heard a lot of good things and they've got a lot of high review scores, especially Bayonetta 2, but that's a Wii U exclusive. So it's basically a third-person, over-the-top action game. It's developed by Platinum Games. It's very much a Japanese game. Think like Devil May Cry. I've always looked at it and thought it's probably not my type of thing, but because it's on Gold, you never know. I might give it a try out. Like I said, it is very over-the-top, so it could be quite fun. The next game I want to talk about, I'm going to go through the 360 and Xbox One backwards compatible games first. So the next one is Red Faction Armageddon. Now, I played the first ever Red Faction on the PS2, played that with my brother and had a great time. I thought it was awesome. I played Red Faction Guerrilla. Bittersweet on that one. That one was open world. The Red Faction Armageddon is actually more linear. I liked the destructible damage in Red Faction Guerrilla, but I felt like the game got too much in the way of the fun, because when you're destroying things, a load of wave of enemies would come, so you kind of had to rush to destroying, which took away the fun for me. I'm not going to look into Red Faction Armageddon, but if you're a Red Faction fan, you might want to give it a try. The next one is Trials Fusion. I played the other Trials games. I had a lot of fun playing with my mates on local multiplayer. You can play up to 4. It's quite a lot of fun back and forth banner. Basically, you need to obviously get to the end as fast as possible, but it's basically a side-scrolling physics-based motorbike game. So it can be quite tricky with the physics sometimes to keep upright, and obviously if you fall over you respawn, so a lot of the fun itself can come in just be trying different jumps and not obviously crashing, and with the physics it's quite a lot of fun. I recommend, if you've not played a Trials game, giving that a try out. The last one, now I've never heard of this game before, but I've done a lot of digging on the internet, and obviously I checked some gameplay videos for you guys to give you some information. So it actually comes out on August the 1st, and that's its actual release date for the Xbox One, so it comes straight on Gold, which is quite nice to see. It's been in early access on the PC since January of 2016, and basically it's quite hard to describe, but it's a single player, first person, open world life simulation game. It's got a really colourful, unique art style. From the gameplay I've seen, you're on a farm, there's these little creatures, and you've got this like gun, but it's more of the line, I would say, of like a portal gun, where it's not just for shooting. I see him pick up the creatures with the gun and shoot them out into different places and things like that. So yeah, very unique game. I have no idea what to make of it. I might check some more videos out or give it a try when it comes out for Gold myself. Okay, so the next news story we've got for today is from Sony. So Sony and Microsoft are battling out this week because Sony have also announced their PlayStation Plus games for August. So if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you'll be getting on the PS4 Just Cause 3 and Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry. On the PS3 you'll be getting Super Motherload and Snakeball, and on the PS Vita you'll be getting Downwell, which is also cross-buy on the PS4, and you'll be getting Level 22. Now I'm also going to discuss these games a little bit more as well. So firstly, Just Cause 3 is a third-person open-world action game with heavy emphasis on action and explosions. I played Just Cause 2 on the PS3, put in about 10 hours, didn't really feel the story too much, but I had a lot of fun going around in the multiple vehicles and just causing as much chaos in the open world as possible. Also on the PS4, like I said, Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry. Not much to say here, just another Assassin's Creed game. On the PS3, Super Motherload. This game's a lot like SteamWorld Dig and a bit like Terraria, where you're constantly digging and getting minerals. Also a Snake Ball. Now this game is a lot like the mobile version of Snake, but multiplayer. And basically what you do is you go around collecting balls and try to deliver them to collect points. But the other players, and obviously yourself, can also collect weapons and mines to damage you, and you basically, no pun intended, but lose your balls. Now on the Vita, you've got Downwell. Now this is an indie game with retro graphics, and basically, as the name suggests, you're always going down, and your goal is to get to the bottom, but there's enemies there to try and stop you. Now you shoot down and land on their head to kill them to try and progress. And lastly, on the Vita, you've got Level 22. Now I might check this game out because it's quite quirky and it sounds quite funny. From what I'm seeing, it seems quite good. It's got a unique, nice art style, and it's an indie stealth game. And basically the premise is the main character's birthday was the night before, and he got really drunk and he's hungover and he's late for work, but he's been late that many times that if he gets caught, he's fired. So he has to sneak into work, get to his desk without anyone noticing. So that sounds quite funny. So yeah, that's the news for this week. Now on this section I'm going to be talking about games that I'm currently playing, but sometimes to mix it up a bit, I'll talk about games that I really enjoyed that I played in the past, and today's one of those episodes. So the game we're going to be talking about today is Bloodborne. Now I'm going to give you a brief history. The first ever Souls game that I played was Demon's Souls on the PS3, and I never even actually bought it. It was my brother that bought it. I looked at it, didn't think it was going to be my type of game. I heard it was brutal as well, in difficulty, and that took me off. But then I put it on, I played it. I actually got to, I died before the first boss battle and lost a wee bit of progress. And I did actually have a thought to myself, you know, do I want to continue? Do I want to continue? I did continue on. I beat the first boss battle, and after the first boss battle, the rush of beating that boss battle and knowing that I didn't have to complete the whole level over again was such a rush that it kept me going the whole game, and I beat that game. And then I went on to Dark Souls 1, and I played that, and I loved that as well. I never got around to Dark Souls 2 or 3. I just went into Bloodborne after that. I think that everyone should at least give the Souls series or Bloodborne a try, because not like any other game out there. And I always say to people that start it, try to at least get to the first boss battle, because once you get the rush of beating the first boss battle, like I said, it's arguably the best feeling in gaming, and it can get a lot of people to continue playing it. Now, I'm going to let everyone know at the moment that there is going to be some spoiler warning ahead. I'm going to show 2 clips of gameplay footage of the first 2 boss battles and me beating them. So if you've not beat the first 2 boss battles, or you don't want any spoilers or anything like that, I would stop watching this section. For you, those of you that are here or just don't care about spoilers, we'll continue on. So I've not actually beat Bloodborne. I've taken out about 9 of the bosses, so I'm quite close to the end. But I've actually never beat it, and I do actually want to really go back and finish that off, and I will at some point. And I've actually got the DLC that I've not even really got into either, so I really want to go back for that as well. I've heard there's some really cool weapons in the DLC that I'm interested about as well. Now, the story in Bloodborne is as vague as ever. It's not told in like cutscenes like most games. It's really hidden in the game, and you have to basically dig for it. But if you dig deep enough, you will get rewarded. For example, if you look at the item and weapon descriptions, it'll give you a lot of lore on the backstory and things like that. You just have to basically go looking for it. Now, as you can see from the gameplay, it's got a different art style than the Souls games. It's more of a gothic aesthetic, and I think it's nice to make it different than the Souls series, and I do really love the art style, and it's well done here. The next thing I wanted to basically talk about was this game's all about high and lows. Like I said before about some people quitting early on, you will get a lot of lows where you just get some NPCs that really just mess you up, and you can't get past, or basically what most time you get is you'll get to a boss battle that just destroys you a lot of times, and you'll just think to yourself, I'm not doing any damage and I'm just going to keep on getting destroyed. Can I even beat this thing? And you will feel anger, you will feel frustrated, you will feel just down and out. But you have to basically go through all that to get the reward of beating that boss battle. When you beat that boss battle, it's so rewarding and makes up for it, because it's, like I said before, it's arguably the best feeling in gaming is beating that boss battle that you just got destroyed at so many times, and then you basically get it down to a T, its moves, and have your playstyle down, and you get better and you level up and you come back and you beat that. That's such a great feeling. And the great thing about the Souls games and obviously Bloodborne, which we're talking about, is it's very balanced game. So every time you die, whether it be a boss battle or obviously an NPC outside, usually pretty much all the time it's your mistake that costs you that. Going in too much and getting attacked and not waiting enough, or using all your stamina and not being able to get out of the way of attacks and things like that, usually is your fault. So for example, you'll come across NPCs that might just take you down so easily, and then you obviously learn your playstyle, learn their moves, learn how to counter their moves, and you could just destroy them without even getting touched. It's all about getting better as a player, and then obviously taking out the bosses and the enemies. And I feel like as you go through these games, you definitely feel like, yeah, you're getting stronger as a character, but you're getting better as a player, usually most of the time anyway, as you progress. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was I feel like in 2015 when this game came out, I played it back then, and it actually had the single best moment in 2015 for me, and it was actually this footage you're seeing right now of this cleric beast, because what you'll see as this goes on is I basically go down at one point and it looks like all my health is gone. I did obviously die there, but there is a rerun of me trying again. But yeah, so what you're going to see is you're going to see my health completely deplete. I go down, I actually take my hands off the controller because I think I'm already dead, and then I was like, oh, I'm not dead, and I picked up the controller, and like I said, I knew if I got hit by one shot of this cleric beast, I'm done for. It's a wrap. And I looked at his health, and I estimated about 3 or 4 hits for me to take it out. And it was quite a surreal moment because he was at the other end, I was at the other end. It was kind of like a chicken standoff, and I was like, I have to go into Hell's Gate and come back out without being touched. And somehow, some way, I did it, and I took him out. And it was the best moment in 2015 gaming wise, single best moment anyway in gaming that year, because like I said, there's not really much that rivals the feeling of beating a boss battle, especially one that's give you a lot of headaches in the Souls or Bloodborne franchise. Now, gameplay wise, it's that's probably where the most difference between the Souls series and Bloodborne's came into play, because there's no shields. There is technically a wooden shield, but it's just a joke gimmick shield. It doesn't actually reduce any damage really. So basically you're shieldless in this game, and they've made the gameplay a lot faster because of that. So obviously in the Souls series you could run whilst targeting onto an enemy, you could run, but in this you could dodge roll really fast, so you can dodge the enemy's attack and then just counter attack really fast, and it just makes the game a lot more faster and fluid, and it's really nice. And like I said, I like the old way of doing Souls games, but I like how this is with the art style and with the gameplay being like that. And like I said, there is other things as well. It feels very much something that like the Souls series. You've played. If you played a lot of Souls series, you would be very familiar with this. but still a little bit different because of the gameplay being dodged and no shields. It feels quite distinct as well, which I really like. And the last thing I basically wanted to talk about, and I think the best thing about the whole game, is the boss fights. The boss fights are great. The way they look is really nice, and the best reward I got by playing the game was basically seeing the boss fights, like going through the fog gate and thinking, what am I gonna see next, and just going into that boss fight and thinking, am I just going to get destroyed of this next boss, because you don't know what's coming. I try to never look up the boss battles because I want that surprise, and yeah, like I said, beating the boss battles and learning the bosses and even getting destroyed is so frustrating at the time, but like I said, you go through that and then to get the reward of beating it is like nothing else. Yeah, like I said, I really want to get back to Bloodborne. It's definitely a game I want to go back and finish and take out the DLC as well. I do actually have every boss battle. I did miss 2 unfortunately, but because the problem's recording. But every other boss battle I beat in Bloodborne, I do record and put up on my channel. I've got 7 up already. I think I've beaten 9 in total, but like I said, I missed 2. So if you want to check that boss battle. For the boss battles in Bloodborne, you can check my channel. Hone your skills. Look, boy, you in the danger room. No comments again this week. Like I said, you got any questions you want to ask me, ask them in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them next episode. I've been ScottishBandit. Until next time.